Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's time for that time of the week where we dive into the history books of the Monday Night Wars. I am the ruler of all hosts, joined alongside by Crazy D, the Loco, Danny, and the historian Tori as we take our tour of history here on Resolution Retro. How you guys doing tonight?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Having fun, man. Having fun. Kick it off, man.
Hey, Jamie. Hey, Jamie. First of all, we're going to kick off the show by talking about another tragedy. We talked about a little bit yesterday about the passing of the Dynamite Kid. We will be talking a little bit more about that in his history later tonight. But first, we're going to talk about another tragedy that happened today. Tori, turning it over to you. It's going good, Jamie.
As Donovan just stated, yesterday we just lost the Dynamite Kid, who, as many of you know, was one half of the British Bulldog. We're going to talk about him later, along with the late David Boy Smith. Today, we just lost the father of Mr. Perfect and the grandfather of Curtis Axel. He was known as Larry the Axe Henning. He was a great champion in the AWA back in the 80s and the 70s. And he was the guy that, if it wasn't for Larry the Axe Henning, there wouldn't be no Mr. Perfect or Curtis Axel. So my heart goes out to the Henning family. And I'm sure that if y'all need any questions, if y'all want to ask me about the history of the Axe, Larry the Axe Henning, I'll be more than happy to answer them as the show goes on. I just wanted y'all to think about that for just a minute. We lost two great wrestlers back to back this week. All right, Donovan, let's get the show started, bro.
All right, we're gonna start.
Yeah, when the big boys play, I'm not going.
We're going to talk about Nitro. I apologize, Jamie, for the cutoff. Our shit just cut off for a minute. We're going to talk about WCW Nitro, where the big boys play. But they didn't play there yet, because it's only 95. All right.
Or did they?
We have this is the October 16, 1995 edition of WCW Monday Nitro from the Albany Civic Center in Albany, Georgia. So it was coming to you from your part of the woods there, Tori.
I was there at the show, but go ahead, bro. I remember that.
Yeah, I had a train going. I'm sorry about that, Jamie.
So I know all about it. But go ahead with the history, bro.
All right, so actually there's no dark matches. Danny, what you saw is what you get. We had...
Wow.
We kicked off with the WCW World Television Championship. We had Johnny B. Bad versus Diamond Dallas Page with Diamond Doll.
Man, that was some funny ass stuff. Mark Merrill. Yeah. Mark Merrill was he trying to relive his Wild Man days, or was that before he became the Wild Mark Merrill? Actually, Mark Merrill, aka Johnny B. Bad. See, Mark Merrill during that time was Johnny B. Bad. That was before he became Wild Man Mark Merrill.
Yes, that is okay. Kimberly. Diamond Doll is Kimberly.
You mean the dumb blonde? Damn it, Barbie.
Yeah, before the Wild Man days, that was Kimberly. Back then, she was known as Diamond Doll.
Diamond Doll, if I'm not mistaken, was his ex-wife Kimberly.
Oh, she was hot though. Yeah, this was Diamond Doll was Kimberly. She was with the Wild Man later.
Right.
She was Kimberly Lynn Bacon. Yes.
Bacon. Bacon. Oh, what?
And it was for the TV championship. If I'm not mistaken, I think Mark Merrill was the champion, or was it DDP? I forgot which one, but I remember seeing the match live at the time.
DDP was the champion.
In Georgia.
DDP was the champion.
Oh yeah, Kimberly was on the 40-year-old virgin, wasn't she?
Yes.
He said she was on the 40-year-old.
Kimberly Page.
Jamie said she was on the 40-year-old virgin, a.k.a. And he meant the movie, not the person.
Hey. I thought you were talking about the 40-year-old virgin, DPP.
We're not talking about J.E. Jr. So yeah, I mean, Danny, do you want to talk about this match?
I mean, where do I begin? I mean, you had Diamond Dallas Page try to walk out like a damn pimp, but he was pretty much a coked out jackass who... The match didn't last that long. I mean, he hit him out of nowhere and it was already over. Because Mark Merrill went berserk and freaked out like conspiracy theory guy, screaming, "How do you know it was all four towers that were flat?" Like, really? So, I mean,
yes,
what's to say about the match? I mean, you have thoughts about this match?
I think Johnny B. Bad, as he was called then, this was just horrible. It was
a terrible match for Mark Merrill, Johnny B. Bad, whatever you want to call him, and DDP. Oh,
well,
match was
DDP was getting
bad.
DDP was getting disqualify wins and count out wins left and right back then.
Yeah, he was.
This was before This was before they actually started utilizing him properly.
I mean, they were just trying to do something with him because I guess they couldn't figure out what to do with him.
They didn't know what to do with him back then because DDP's a legend. Now.
Right.
I mean, they still bring up his damn yoga.
He's a legend now, but back then DDP was just mediocre at best because he was just getting out of his management role before he became a wrestler. So
yeah, and he was doing movies too. But yeah, DDP, Johnny B. Bad lost this match, or won this match via DQ. Or wait, hang on. Was it DDP?
No, it was Johnny B. Bad won by disqualification because of DDP using the title.
Yeah.
Now, let me just say something. Is it just me, or did the fact that Tyler Breeze's new gimmick is like Johnny B. Bad's entrance?
Yeah.
You saw Johnny B. Bad coming with that confetti gun or whatever? He's walking in like a damn selfie stick. Did anyone catch that?
I remember that back then. Johnny. and you know what really gets me about Johnny B. Bad character? And this is personal for me because I'm from this city that he claimed to be from. Macon, Georgia, my hometown.
Right.
And people and everybody back then thought he was from my hometown for real. And I kept saying, no, he's from New York. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He doesn't even have, and the thing about it is, he doesn't even have the southern accent like I do.
There's plenty of clothes in there. There will be.
You know what I mean? He's not even from Georgia. I mean, the guy is from New York City.
What? And what really ticks off people from the South is people that are from up north trying to act and sound with a southern accent. It's so
I'll get you
trashy.
Yeah, it was. Look, do I have respect for Mark Merrill as a wrestler? I do. I really do. But the way he portrayed himself as he a feud from my hometown, which he wasn't, and the way he portrayed himself as a Little Richard wannabe.
No, that was a
Yes.
cat on my end. Yeah, and yes, like the Briscoe Bros, Jamie. And sorry, Jamie, that was a cat on my end. He wanted to be petted, and then he ran off.
I would like to say this, Donovan. This is personal for me because, I have all the respect in the world for Mark Merrill. But for him to portray himself as being from my hometown and acting like he's Little Richard wannabe, and the way he portrayed himself like that, knowing that he's from New York, I find that a bit disrespectful during that time. Because everybody kept asking me, is he really from Macon during that time when I went to the arena? And I said, no, he's not from my hometown. I don't remember seeing him born. I even tried to look him up back then. I said, he's not from my hometown. So, you know what I mean?
Okay, Tori, not to change gears, but there was a lot of stuff that was really not what it seems. I mean, you had Johnny B. Bad claiming to be from a southern state, and then you also had the Giant they're claiming that the Giant is Andre the Giant's kid, which we all knew was
I
fake.
remember that. And back then, a lot of people believed it. Everybody used to thought that the Big Show, a.k.a. the Giant at the time, was the son of Andre the Giant because of his size. All white. The Big Show. So let's get to the next match. Sorry. I apologize, everybody, for my rant there.
It's all right.
I'm waiting. Oh man. But I kind of figured that DDP was gonna get disqualified in that match. You there, Donovan?
Yep, he's there.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Well, he probably stepped away for a minute, but let's keep it going.
I had to go put up that cat that was meowing.
Oh, I understand that, man.
And he said that Big Show is from Elkin, North Carolina. Yeah. So then we had Eddie Guerrero versus Chris Benoit.
Great match.
Man, that was a wonderful match.
Here's the thing. We already know Chris Benoit's history. And we know
South Carolina, yeah. Sorry about that.
influenced him. So we talked about that the other day, so I'm not going to get into that detail. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. But the match that those two had were great. It was to me one of the best matches that WCW had at the time.
Eddie Guerrero had already put like multiple wins over Dean Malenko, and now they're starting to put Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit. This was Chris Benoit with long hair and those blue and white tights he wore way back, which looked goofy as hell.
Yeah, I remember that.
But Eddie,
but I'm telling you, man, that match between Benoit and Guerrero, classic.
It was
classic.
The longest.
Rest in peace to both of these men.
It was the longest match of the night. It was like 8.5 minutes.
And I love how they referred to him as a Canadian crippler. The fact that they were referencing when he broke Sabu's neck.
Yeah, in ECW.
Right.
Benoit, back in those days, Benoit was underrated, but he was great.
You know what, Tori? Why don't you
the best technical wrestler at the time.
Tori? Hang on. Watch out, Benoit's spirit might come and haunt you. That's what Jamie said. Tori, why don't you tell everybody the actual history of Benoit and Eddie Guerrero?
I want to listen to this.
Long and storied history between these two guys.
Well, we're talking about from ECW.
Let's start out with.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I mean, before Eddie Guerrero and Benoit wrestled in ECW, which they did, which by the way they did, they were also wrestling in New Japan and in Mexico together. Before Chris Benoit, he was known as Pegasus, the Pegasus Kid. Also Wild Pegasus in Japan. Eddie Guerrero was one of the Tiger Masks in Japan. Believe it or not, he was one of the Tiger Masks in Japan. And of course, he was also Eddie Guerrero in the AAA promotion in Mexico. Those two guys wrestled each other before they even wrestled in WCW. I mean, yes, they even had matches in ECW. Probably was on dark matches back then, but they also had a match in ECW. And of course, later on, after they both left WCW for the WWE, those two guys were tag team champions together, and they also wrestled each other at the ECW One Night Stand back in 2005. That's the history between Guerrero and Benoit. Those two guys have a whole heck of a lot of history with each other. So going back to that match in 1995, did I say that right? Back in 1995, those two guys had a great match between each other. It was a 5-star match. It was classic, 8 minutes long. But in the end, who won the match, Donovan?
Donovan?
Give me a minute, guys. I need to go check on my kiddo.
Okay. The winner of the match, I'll give it a...
Corey, who did Eddie Guerrero tag with in Mexico? Jamie asked.
Oh, man. The originator of the Frog Splash. I forgot his name. That move that Eddie Guerrero made famous was originated by his tag team partner. I forgot his name, but I remember him. I'm going to look it up real quick. Hold on.
It wasn't Juventud, right?
No, it wasn't Juventud. But I remember that tag team in Mexico. Those two guys were a great tag team in AAA in Mexico. The man behind the Frog Splash. I forgot that guy's name. Hold on, let me look it up real quick on Google, guys. Just give me a second.
Boom, 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 boom. We have dead air.
I mean, Eddie Guerrero perfected the Frog Splash, but it was his old tag team partner.
On the bottom, blue and white checkered like thing.
I'm going to look up Eddie Guerrero real quick, guys, because I know his tag team partner was the one that perfected the Frog Splash.
Are you a traitor?
Oh, yeah, Eddie Guerrero known as Black Tiger in Japan. I knew he wore the tiger mask.
That's nice.
His tag team partner was known as Art Barr. Look up Art Barr.
Alright.
Art Barr. He was the guy that innovated the move known as the Frog Splash. That's the guy that he was the tag team champion with, Art Barr. we need to start talking about his history too, guys, one day. Look up the man behind the front, right? Art Barr. He was a great Art Barr was a great wrestler, man.
So he was the one that invented the frog splash, period, because what about
Art Barr was the guy that invented the frog splash in Mexico.
Okay. Oh, okay. Then you had people like Eddie Guerrero, Rob Van Dam, and so on.
Yeah. That's the guy that Guerrero used to be tag teaming with in Mexico, named Art Barr. I forgot what they called themselves back then, but he was a great guy, man.
Sorry about that, guys. Giggle with
Donovan, did you catch wind of what I said about Art Barr?
Yes.
He was Eddie Guerrero's tag team partner in Mexico. He was the one that innovated the move known today as the frog splash. Guys like Guerrero, Eddie Guerrero, Chavo Guerrero, Rob Van Dam, D'Lo Brown, and I can name a bunch of other guys that used that move. KO, Kevin Owens, and
Christian, AJ Styles. I mean, a lot of people used it as a normal move.
Yeah. Art Barr was the one that invented it.
They were called.
Go back, look up on YouTube on Art Barr and see how. Look on YouTube about Art Barr, and you will see that move he invented, known as the frog splash.
Yeah, Jamie said that they were known as Los Grigos Locos, and he said, Danny, giggle with the Pillsbury Doughboy.
That's right. That was the tag team in Mexico.
Chris Benoit did win this match.
He did it to a belly-to-back suplex, I believe it was.
Was it that bridging suplex where you like belly to belly them, but overhead then pin them?
It was a German suplex.
But he called it a belly-to-back with suplex with a bridge.
It was a German. Let me explain. It was a bridge and German suplex, as people call it today.
No, I understand, but I was talking about the commentator said it was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because they didn't call it the German suplex.
Yeah, back then it was just a belly-to-back bridge suplex. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was before he started using a crossface.
Is it me or
today?
Are you? Because I'm actually tired of listening to Eric Bischoff and Vince McMahon do commentating. I'm just gonna tell you that. I just can't wait till they stop running their mouth on commentating because I think they suck.
Yes,
well, what's the next match, bro?
Yes.
I'm glad I'm here to help you guys out with these guys that people don't know about. Guys like Art Barr, Larry the Axe Hennig, people like that.
Thank you, Tori.
No problem, man.
This is what you're good at, man. This is why this is like the greatest show for you. You're the historian, and this is history. That's why we do retro. And we got guys like Jamie. This dude, he knows his stuff too.
Yeah.
And thank you, Jamie, for helping out as well, man. Art Barr wrestled a dark match versus the Juicer versus Conan, known as Latin Fury in WWF.
He was great. And the thing about it was with Art Barr, folks, he died young. He was great.
Damn.
Yeah, Art Barr, a.k.a. Beetlejuice, a.k.a. the Juicer, a.k.a. the American Love Machine. And this is Jamie.
So people think the frog splash is like a tribute to him.
I want to say this on behalf of myself and Jamie because we know who Art Barr was. I want you guys to please go on YouTube and look him up. You will see how great this guy was.
Try to find his Mexico matches. Underlay, Daniel.
Arriba.
Art Barr is one of the pioneers of the styles you see on 205 Live as well.
All right, so yeah, and you know what's bad is we got a shitty match to start with, then we got a great match to follow that. Now you guys ready to step down again?
Yes.
We got a 1 minute and 51 second match between Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Ming.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like,
We're talking about two guys, and by the way, my heart goes out to Hacksaw Jim Duggan as well. Get well soon, Hacksaw. But
hey, Tori,
Yeah.
don't take this as an insult, but I compare Hacksaw Jim Duggan to a
Hey-o.
cockroach because that man can never be crushed or killed. I'm just
Jamie said he saw Art Barr as the juicer at a house show in Myrtle Beach back in the day.
Damn.
Yeah, these guys be like, him and Tori, they be like, man, they've been there. Hacksaw
You know what I
battling.
mean?
Yeah.
Like
Hacksaw's terminal.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan versus Haku. Is it me or
It was-
if I'm not mistaken,
it was
those two
me.
had a match back in the old WWF.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan was a
I
jobber.
mean,
Go ahead, Danny.
shit. He was the best jobber. He was like one of the best jobbers to be put over. He won the very first Royal Rumble, right?
Hey-oh, yep.
He did. Yes, he did. But you know,
Jamie said
here's the
Art
thing
Barr was
about
tremendous
Hacksaw Jim
live.
Duggan, and I'm gonna say this: he was a great guy in the Mid-South wrestling back in the day. He was great in Mid-South wrestling in the early '80s, and then obviously his career in the WWE when he was known as King Hacksaw Duggan. He had great matches back then, but then they treated him like trash in WCW.
Jamie says Ming was rumored to be in UFC 1 with Dan Severn and Ken Shamrock.
I wouldn't be surprised with his martial arts expertise.
Yeah, and you look at his boys, man, the Tongans, they're great.
Oh yeah.
Gorillas of Destiny, they're I love.
Ming, aka everybody knows who Ming is. He was Haku, part of the Heenan family. He was also King Haku. He was also one half of the Islanders back in the day.
Yep. Well, he won this match. He won this match pretty quick.
Of
Yeah,
course
he
he did.
put him to sleep.
Of course he did.
I'll be right back.
He's like 99.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get to the main event. I'm gonna let you and Danny discuss this real quick. It was the Nature Boy, woo, Ric Flair, and the man called Surfer Sting versus Flying Brian Pillman and Arn Anderson.
Wow.
Y'all take this. I'll be right back. Woo!
Oh, Danny, you start, bro.
Oh man, it was hilarious. You're like Flying Brian Pillman and Arn Anderson are already in the ring. Then you have the commentators talking about Ric Flair. Well, Flair's coming out by himself. Where the hell is Sting? And it's like, really, guys? I mean, you're really gonna put it on real thick on where the hell is Sting? I mean, Sting could be in the wrestler for all we know, or out banging some broad. I don't know. I mean, shit. But like Ric Flair said, hey man, look, I'm gonna go out and get myself a tag team partner. He shows up. Well, hey, we have a tag team match. He don't show up, I'm gonna fight both of you one-on-one. And that's what you got for the first half of this match, right?
Oh, man. Well, it was basically, look, all four of these men, Hall of Famers, future Hall of Famers, you already know, right?
Yeah.
Sting, Arn Anderson, and Ric Flair are already Hall of Famers. Flying Brian Pillman deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
He
But
does.
this match was pathetic, man. It seen, and I seen it live.
I understand
And
that.
the thing
But
about it was,
oh, sorry.
you're right. It's like everybody was getting ready. Well, everybody was excited. People was getting riled up, ready for Sting to show up. And where was Sting? Like, what the hell? That's how bad it was, man.
I mean, we heard rumors of people in ECW being high as a kite. Was they also high as a kite in WCW?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, people like don't know if ECW going to evade WCW or the WWE at the time. It was just crazy back then.
It was, but the thing was that ECW, let's put a little bit in there, was only, I guess it was in contract with WWF, because that's the only one they would invade.
They had a deal with WWF, yeah, they did.
Yeah, so that's the only place they actually invaded. Now, people from New Japan, I guess, had a contract with WCW, because that's where New Japan went and invaded.
Yeah. People in New Japan, I think Triple A also had a deal with WCW. New Japan had a deal with WCW, as you know, because they had like guys like the great Muda showing up there, Jushin Thunder Liger showing up there. They had Masahiro Chono showing up in WCW.
Oh, yeah. Now, I think as we continue to watch Mini Nitro, you're going to see more of the Triple A, because Eric Bischoff was talking about having a cruiserweight scene, and that's why you have Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko, and Chris Benoit show up, because we're going to have a big presence in the cruiserweight, which they did have a big presence.
Yeah, they also had, during that time, Rey Mysterio, Juventud Guerrera, they had La Parker. I can name a bunch of cruiserweight coming from that Triple A promotion.
Oh,
Conan, he was there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My favorite luchador, I can't really call him a luchador. He was my favorite entertainer in WCW, La Parker, the chairman of WCW, as they called him, because he swung that chair so good.
Funny.
He was hilarious. Now, my favorite tactical wrestler for the luchador, hands down, has to be Ultimo Dragon.
Ultimo Dragon, man.
He put you in that sleeper, you were out.
Ah, man, you want to talk about the Ultimo Dragon? Here's a guy. He had like 8 championships back in the day, including he was a former, and I do mean this sincerely, a former IWGP Light Heavyweight Champion in Japan. That's right. He was the champion in Japan, even though he was wrestling exclusively in Mexico. But he was also a Japanese legend as well.
Man. Now,
of course, Ultimo Dragon didn't show up in WCW until like next year, until like a year later. He was still in Mexico and Japan during that time. But about this match between Sting, Flair, Brian Pillman, and the Enforcer,
Hi, Mitt.
Double A, R. Anderson. Hey, Mitt, what's going on, bro?
Thoughts on Brian Pillman's son?
You mean Brian Pillman Jr.? You know, Brian Pillman Jr. do remind me of his dad.
I'm not at Motel 6, Mitt.
His dad.
I'm not at Motel 6. That's your preference, Mitt. Yeah, he does.
But let's get back to the match, bro. That match was kind of like bad booking. I just put it that way. It was a terrible booking on that match. It's just terrible booking, period. I mean, you got 4 legendary guys, 4 Hall of Famers in my personal book, supposed to have a great match, and it wasn't great.
The ending was trash. I mean, I don't know about the booking part, but I mean, that ending was garbage.
You had 4 Hall of Famers in this match. Sting, Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, and Brian Pillman.
And the match was terrible, Donovan. Believe me, it was terrible. It's sad to say that.
I mean,
It really is.
it's sad. Let's just say how they won. They won by count out.
The Faces won by count out.
Yeah, but even when the Faces won by count out, did anyone see Ric Flair's face when Sting throws his hand up and looks Flair in the face like, "Hey, we won"? He's like, "What the fuck?" Am I being tortured right now or something?
It was terrible, man. And I was there live. And I was like shaking my head back then. That's how bad the match was, guys. I was at Nitro at the time. Could you think about it, Donovan? Could you imagine if you were at Nitro back then, watching this whole thing live, and you just shaking your head like, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That's all I was doing back then. I was like, and I was a fan. Believe me. I'm a fan of Ric Flair. I always have been. I'm a fan of Sting. I always have been. And Brian Pillman, rest in peace, before he passed away. I'm a fan of his. I like the loose cannon version of Brian Pillman better than the flying Brian version, but still, I'm a fan of Brian Pillman. And of course, Double A, man, you can never go wrong with.
Hey, Anthony. Hey, Chris.
They never won a title. Double A.R. Anderson. The world title, that means. I mean.
Oh, what the hell with this shit?
What's wrong, bro?
Oh, my freaking chat froze.
Oh, man. You talking about the one we was on the line?
Yeah, I'm trying to scroll down. Isaac's in here. Mitt's talking about his grandma. Hi, Chris. Hi, Isaac. Hi, Anthony.
Hello, Peanut Gallery. Woohoo!
Hello, everybody.
Mitt said he called the WCW hotline once.
Yeah, call the WCW hotline 1-800 I don't give a fuck, and you'll talk to Local about his trophy hours.
All right, you guys ready to get it?
1-800-909-9900.
Are you guys ready to talk?
I can't believe I still had that number stuck in my damn head.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Jamie lost a friend over the weekend.
Sorry to hear that, dude.
Jamie, I know
Sorry,
I know what you're going through. I lost my mom to cancer and my grandma on her side, her mom, and I also my aunt has had 3 bouts of it.
I understand how you feel too, man. I lost a cousin to cancer earlier this year.
My aunt's already had my aunt's had cervical cancer and 2 bouts of small intestine cancer.
Damn. Well, Jamie, I'm gonna speak on behalf of all of us, and thank you for saying that, Donovan, because all of us are here for you, brother. All of us are here for you.
Yeah, like I said, and now my sister tried to commit suicide via sleeping medication, so I've been going through some times, but we move it on. Hey, Anthony, how you doing? I appreciate.
Yeah, let's keep it rolling.
I appreciate that. Tori and Danny, and also sorry to hear that, Jamie. That's cool, man. Trust me, I know, dude. I friggin' know. We're gonna talk about Raw. We talked about the Goliath that is Nitro. Let's see what the hour of Raw had. Maybe it was better, right?
We'll see.
We'll see. Okay.
Hey, Tori, you got that Mountain Dew next to you? I mean, the Jack Daniels? Damn it, dang it.
Man, I got my Mountain Dew with me, bro. But go ahead, man.
Next, we got Doink the Clown versus Hunter Hearst Helmsley as the opening match.
Wait. When did that delusional clown get in? Oh, wait. I'm sorry. We're not talking about Crazy D here. My bad.
Well, we're not talking about that guy that likes to injure everybody.
Hey, whatever.
Oh, yeah. Doink the Clown versus the
I saw
Triple
him.
H that was in WCW before he was in WWE. That Triple H.
The stuck-up snob.
Yes.
Isaac and Anthony.
Hunter,
AC Smooth Lose was in here too, but he left. Jamie says Golden Warrior. Jamie must be a Crazy D supporter. He said the Golden Warrior's finishing move is the Golden Shower.
That was funny.
That was, yeah.
But about the match between Triple H and Doink, Triple H won, right?
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, he's
No, this
undefeated
was
right now.
not Matt Bourne. This was let me look who it was because it actually has the. This was the mid '90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matt Bourne was the previous version of it.
Now, whoever it was, it reminded me of Chris. I'm sorry.
In fact, Matt Bourne was in ECW at the time when this Doink the Clown wrestled Triple H.
There you go. Matt Bourne was in. This was Ray Apollo.
The worst version of Doink.
Yeah, he kind of looked like a slobbish drunk.
He was the worst version. I like Matt Bourne version better than this guy.
You know, there's a better clown version than that. It's the guy that was on Uncle Buck with John Candy.
But I will say one thing. Triple H won that match. That was easy. I already know.
Yeah.
I did not even watch Monday Night Raw at the time because I was at the other show. But even I knew that Triple H won that match.
Oh yeah.
The best version of Doink was Matt Bourne.
Yeah, Maniac Matt Bourne.
Yeah. This was Ray, and he was terrible. He was born. He called himself Born Again in ECW with some Doink aspects. Yeah, the ECW had some characters now. And come '96, we're gonna actually add ECW to the show.
Oh, I can't wait. I really cannot
man. So are we going to do the '96 version of ECW? We're going to go all the way from the beginning.
'96, because that's when they were just transitioning from Eastern to Extreme, and we're going to talk about Extreme Championship Wrestling.
Yeah, '93 to '95, that was Eastern Championship Wrestling. They were just starting, you know.
Triple H about killed Mini Gamers, aka Champagne with the pedigree one time. Yeah, that freaking pedigree from hell, that freaking full body face buster.
Yep.
Alright, so this was the first match. Hunter Hearst Helmsley won. I mean, the WCW had a crappy start. So, hey, let's see if Raw picks it up. We had a WWF Tag Team Championship match with the champions, the Smoking Guns, versus PG-13.
The people from the hood.
Let me give you a reality check on this team known as PG-13.
Please do.
In case people don't realize who that tag team are, they were champions in what's that? Smoky Mountain Wrestling, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, they were tag team champions in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. The same crappy ass tag team were also champions in WCW, unfortunately. And also, while they was in WWF, they were a member of the Nation of Domination, one of the first members of the Nation of Domination, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, in 1995, they were in ECW, and then they went to WWF.
Exactly. I was going to get around to that little brief history in ECW. In fact, they had a tag team match against what's that damn tag team? Oh yes, Public Enemy.
Oh God, that was so horrible.
The Public Enemy, folks. But anyway, who won that match between PG-13 and the Smoking Guns? Because PG-13, they were, you know, they were mediocre at best tag team.
So, are you saying that was the B team in 1995?
One half of the PG-13 was the son of Bill Dundee. USWA, you were absolutely correct, JB.
That is true. Bill Dundee, superstar Bill Dundee.
Tory. So we do call them the B team of the 1990s?
Yes, they were the B team of the 1990s. They were the original B team of the 1990s.
And when I mean B team,
am I wrong for saying that, Donovan?
No, they were a horrible team.
And when I mean B team, I mean the bullshit. I'm sorry.
Give me a little bit, Karen, and I'll see what
I mean, think about it, man. The PG, don't get me wrong, they were really, really mediocre. They were terrible. And back then, you had the Headbangers, all them teams back then. You had some great teams like the
Jamie Dundee played on many episodes of Jerry Springer.
Yes.
Damn. You are the father.
You are the father.
I'm being honest, y'all. PG-13 was the original B team. Literally.
They were jobbers. But the Smoking Guns retained the tag titles here, so that should tell you exactly what we're saying. So this match wasn't This match wasn't as good as Benoit versus Eddie Guerrero, but maybe the show picked up, right?
Hopefully.
We saw Joe Dorgan versus Dean Douglas, aka later on known as the Franchise Shane Douglas.
Man.
Wolfie D is the other half of PG-13, went on to TNA as Slash in the tag team known as the New Church, which I liked him in that. Yes, Sonny at one point was the manager for the Smoking Guns, but not yet.
Shane Douglas.
Dean Douglas.
Hall of Fame wrestler in his own right.
This was when he was Dean Douglas.
He used to be tag team. In fact, Shane Douglas used to team up with Big Johnny, John Laurinaitis, a.k.a. Johnny Ace, when they was in WCW.
That didn't happen yet. That was later on.
I'm talking about before he was in ECW and WWF. He was tag team with
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah.
Johnny Ace.
But
a.k.a. John Laurinaitis.
And John Dorgan, he's a freaking jobber too.
Of course, Shane Douglas won that match. I mean, come on. Shane Douglas is a great. Shane Douglas was a great wrestler, hardcore wrestler in ECW. He was a great wrestler. Although he did not use him that long because he was there for only basically for a couple months.
Yeah, he was.
Am I wrong, Donovan? He was only there for basically a cup of coffee.
He wasn't even there for a cup of coffee.
Give a take. He was there for a glass of water. Now get the hell out.
Dean Douglas did win this match. Danny, what's your takes on this match? Yeah. The Dynamic Dudes. Please don't remind me of the Dynamic Dudes. I fucking hated that.
I fell asleep.
That was the name of the tag team.
I know.
Tag team together. Oh my God.
Love the ECW used copyrighted music, laughing out loud.
Well, go ahead, Danny. What's your thoughts on this match between Shane Douglas and the other guy?
I'll keep it as quick as Shane's career. I fell asleep, and then when I woke up, he won the match. I was like, it was what worrying about. I mean, can I tune back to Nitro?
That's how bad the match. I mean, seriously. And don't get me wrong, folks. Shane Douglas was underutilized in WWE. In fact, he was underutilized in the old WCW when he was teaming up with Big Johnny.
With people power.
You know what I'm talking about. I'm not going there.
With people power. Yeah.
He was underutilized. He was the one. The funny thing about that dynamic dude tag team with Shane Douglas and Johnny, Big Johnny, aka Johnny Ace, John Laurinaitis, it was Shane Douglas that kept the team going. It was Shane Douglas that kept the team going. And unfortunately, yes, they won tag team champion in WCW back then. Only for a cup of coffee, but still.
Big Johnny
That's
is
terrible.
Big Johnny is Road Warrior Animal's brother.
I feel bad for Road Warrior Animal.
People
That guy's
power.
a brother. I'm sorry.
That astounds Jamie.
And I feel bad for Shane Douglas having to be a tag team partner with that guy back then. And I feel bad and I also feel bad for the Bushwhackers, aka Sheepherder, for having that guy on their team.
Yeah. Luke didn't look too happy. But yeah, Dean Douglas won this, and it really wasn't. Joe Dorgan was actually in Impact at one point. He was in Impact for a while.
Oh yeah, Shane Douglas was.
No, Joe Dorgan. Joe Dorgan, the opponent. He's been in Impact. He was in Impact as Johnny Swinger.
Ah. Also in ECW as Johnny Swinger, which we'll get to once we get to 1996. You will see exactly what I mean.
He was Johnny Parisi in WCW later, but we'll talk about that later too.
Yeah. That guy has so many damn names.
But you know what? He never had any wins.
Of course he did. Of course he did.
Who got kicked?
So what's the next match? Seemed like Monday Night Raw off to a terrible start during that time. What do you think, Danny? Seemed like Raw off to a terrible start during that time, and that was before the Attitude Era.
Yeah. Johnny Parisi was in WWE. Yeah, no, he was Joe Dorgan. That was Joe Parisi in WCW. Right now, like where we're covering, I don't know why their dog's barking. I'm just ignoring it at this point.
Okay.
We're progressive folks over here, man. And one of our fans said they can't leave a. I think Danny got kicked.
I'm having fun right now, bro.
Danny got kicked.
Oh, okay. I guess it's just me and you then, bro.
No, I think Danny's having some issues.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna call him back.
I'll be coming back.
I'm calling him back in. I think it's just Facebook. Yeah, Danny, I'm sorry, dude. I didn't know it would happen. I thought maybe you just had to go for a minute.
I got kicked out for some odd reason. I went from Wi-Fi to data, so.
Yeah, I got some, so then we're going to get to the main event, a steel cage match between Dr. Isaac Yankums, like we don't know who this is, versus Bret the Hitman Hart.
Right.
Well, We all know who died. We already know who the guy is. I'm not going to give y'all some details.
Yeah, he's fake Diesel.
We just talked about it.
He's fake. He's fake Diesel.
We all know who the guy is.
He's fake Diesel.
And let's just say he's a politician right now.
He's fake
I'll
Diesel.
just put it that way.
What, is he also a fake politician?
Yes.
I mean, he was a fake dentist. Did you look at the guy's mouth?
But anyway, he's going against the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. One half of the legendary tag team.
Wait a minute.
The Heart Foundation. Before, well, the other version of the Heart Foundation, Bret the Hitman Hart.
Troy, wait. The best there was, best there will be. How did Natalia get there?
I don't know. I'm talking about her uncle, bro.
I know, I'm just saying, because she likes to leech off of that thing. I was like, really?
I mean, but still.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like,
The cage match was, in my personal opinion, of course, Jerry the King Lawler was there at the time, managing this big man.
man.
If I'm not mistaken,
Yeah, I do need a shot of whiskey. To cover this Monday Night Raw, Jamie, I need some whiskey. Bruiser Mastino, Unabomb.
He was Unabomb. Then he was Isaac Yankum. Then he was Diesel.
No, he was fake Diesel.
Fake Diesel, but yeah.
Then
And then he was. Before he became this guy, the Big Red Machine.
No, he was Caped Kane.
Ah, got you. But anyway,
Before he was on TV, he had a cape.
man, that's how bad this guy was. Terrible gimmicks back then.
Tori.
Anyway, I think.
Tori,
Yeah.
you're talking about from 1993 to 95, nothing but terrible gimmicks.
Exactly. Unabomb.
One man gang. Wait, what?
What was the one that was Vegas?
Vinny Vegas?
Yeah.
That was Kevin Nash.
That was.
No, I know who it was. But we're talking about bad gimmicks, right?
Yeah, what about Oz? Remember Oz?
Oh, man. They had some bad gimmicks back then. But some of these guys actually made it work. Some of these guys actually made the bad gimmick work. I'll give you a prime example of a bad gimmick. Dork the Clown was a bad gimmick, but Matt Bourne made it work.
Yeah, I guess it depends on who you actually put on there. I mean,
You know what I mean?
we had some really bad gimmicks like John Cena.
Master Blaster Steel, yeah. Casey Kane, the NASCAR driver. I remember that. Hey, remember when
I already know Bret Hart probably
remember
did.
when Jericho was a hockey player?
Yes. Yes.
Wait. I may be having a drug flashback or being the high memories. I seem to remember they had a Ninja Turtle on Raw.
They did, and we're ignoring.
I thought I was on drugs for a minute because I was like, well, because I was.
You know what the funny thing is? I went on Google, right? And I looked up Isaac Yankum DDS. And he looked like he was, and I'm just gonna be on the he looked like he's been smoking dope way too much before he became a wrestler. That's how terrible that gimmick looked.
Wild.
Man, he looked like a crackhead dentist. Look,
Yeah,
man,
Wild Bill Irvin. That was Jericho's original gimmick, Wild Bill Irwin in WWF. Thank you.
Yep.
He was only there for a cup of coffee.
His Chris Jericho's father was a hockey player in real life.
Yeah, and
so.
that's why they gave him that stupid gimmick. It was so stupid. It wasn't going to ever go anywhere. Thank God we finally got the fucking Jericho, the fucking lion tamer.
The Lionheart.
The lion tamer, Lionheart, the golden lion.
Let me guess. Between Bret Hart and the so-called doctor in that steel cage, I wasn't there because, again, I was at the other show. Let me take a wild guess. The Hitman won the cage match, right?
Yeah, the Hitman won. Bret the Hitman Hart won the match.
Of course.
Even though Jerry the King Lawler switched the locks so that they want to have the key to open the door.
Yeah, I went back and saw the whole thing on the Day Network. I saw that. I was like, Jerry the King Lawler.
But that
was
was Raw. Now, we'll get into another segment. This would be Tori's favorite segment. Tori?
We're talking about the British Bulldog, right?
Yeah, the Dynamite Kid passed away, and we're going to actually dive into the history of him and the Davey Boy Smith, because some people actually get them confused.
Exactly.
Like Loco.
Well, again, my heart goes out to the family of the Dynamite Kid, and as I said earlier, to Larry the Axe Hennig, the Hennig family, on the passing of Larry the Axe Hennig. But anyway, let's dive into the Dynamite Kid and Davey Boy Smith. Okay, I know a lot of people get confused on the British Bulldogs, so let me give you a little history lesson, if you don't mind. You see, before Davey Boy Smith became the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith, he was one half of a tag team known as the British Bulldogs, with the S in the end. His tag team partners happened to be his real life cousin, the Dynamite Kid. So, I want everybody to pay attention to this. When they first started, they were in Japan. Of course, the Dynamite Kid started out as a singles wrestler before he became a tag team wrestler with his cousin.
I agree with that, Jamie. British Bulldog should have 2 rings.
Yeah, they should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
I think both of these guys, the Dynamite Kid and Davey Boy Smith, both should be in the Hall of Fame, to be honest.
Actually, I think he should have 3 rings, but that's just me.
Duke the Dumpster Dross. That's good.
But the thing about it is, people, the Dynamite Kid, as a wrestler, and I think I said this yesterday to you, Donovan.
Yeah.
He's a technical wizard.
He was.
The guy. Go ahead.
No, I said I agree. He was. We talked about that. Go ahead.
He was a technical wizard. I mean, the Dynamite Kid. If you go back, people, and look at some of his matches, this guy is a great technical wrestler. That diving headbutt that the Hall of Famer Harley Race made famous, he innovated it and made it more popular back then with that diving headbutt. The snap suplex, a move made famous in Japan, he made it more popular. The Dynamite Kid influenced men like the one we mentioned earlier, Chris Benoit. Rest in peace to him as well. He influenced guys like Chris Benoit. He influenced guys like Rey Mysterio. He influenced guys like Daniel Bryan. And even some of the guys you see on the WWE NXT UK. Some of them have been influenced by the Dynamite Kid, and also Davey Boy Smith as well. Both of these men influenced the European wrestling that we see on NXT UK, and also on regular NXT with some of the European wrestlers. And when you look at guys like Finn Balor and also Drew McIntyre, two guys from the UK in some form of fashion, whether it's from Scotland and other areas. They were also influenced by the Dynamite Kid and Davey Boy Smith. Just look at their styles, man. When you look at their style, they got that style, the same type of style that Davey Boy Smith and the Dynamite Kid emulated. Oh, and Becky Lynch, her style kind of remind me of she got the, and Becky Lynch in her own right kind of got that Diamond Kid type style too with some of her movesets.
Jamie said Brown Eye Billington.
A technical wizard in her own right.
Jamie said Brown Eye Billington. Tori?
Tom Billington, yes. That's his actual name.
Yeah.
So I want people to when you look at guys like the Dynamite Kid, just think about some of the guys in Great Britain and other areas that are influenced by him. I mean, we mentioned Benoit, we mentioned Daniel Bryan.
One of my favorite British wrestlers that some of you know but that you don't know, Douglas Williams. He's a legend in Britain.
Yeah, Douglas Williams was influenced by the Dynamite Kid. Another one. And I remember him too. I mean, look it up. Danny Burch on NXT, also influenced by the Dynamite Kid. You didn't know that, did you?
I knew all of that, man. I love British wrestling. I love Japanese wrestling. I love Canadian wrestling. I love wrestling.
Me too. I love wrestling, period, man. I mean, people always seem to be forgetting about guys. I mean,
yeah, I remember him in Defiant,
when
too.
people look at wrestling, they automatically think it's WWE and WCW and ECW, but...
Oh, he wants to know who's a female wrestler.
Like Japan, you got...
He said who's...
You got Triple A in Mexico and all these other areas.
He said Brown Eye Billington was his daughter.
Oh.
The female wrestler. I haven't seen her wrestle.
That's the daughter of the Dynamite Kid.
Yeah, my heart goes out to her, by the way.
Yeah. And my heart also goes out to the family of, Larry the Axe Hennig, the father of the late Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect. And also, as much as Curtis Axel, my heart goes out to you, brother. But that's your grandfather.
Yeah, our heart goes out to the Hennigs and to the Billingtons.
Yes. And also to the Smith family because, that's his cousin.
Yeah. Danny, you still with us?
David Boy Smith, because...
I'm just listening to y'all for a moment.
All right,
and also to the Hart family, because if you think about it, the Billington and the Hart pretty much are the same family.
Pretty much.
So my heart goes out to the Hart family as well on the passing of the Dynamite Kid.
Hey, Tori.
And also Davey Boy Smith.
Tori.
Yes.
Do you have anything else you want to say on this before we move on?
Sure. One more thing I would like to say. For those of you who doesn't know who the Dynamite Kid is, and also Larry the Axe Hennig, I urge you all to look them up on YouTube, look them up online, do your research on these two, because these are two legendary guys that we just lost back to back. That's what I want to say.
And I'm scared that Hacksaw Jim Duggan's going to be next.
Yeah, my heart goes. Like I said, I'm also praying for the Hacksaw Jim Duggan as well, because he's another one that is on his way out, and my heart goes out to him as well. I'm glad that you mentioned his name too, Donovan, because I'm praying for Mr. Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
My friend,
great man.
I want to shout out Chris Powell. He's a huge Jim Duggan fan. He's been following him since the 80s. And he's the one that introduced me to Hacksaw Jim Duggan in person down in Louisiana.
Great man. I met him in in person as well, bro.
His dad is actually real life friends
Great
with
man.
Jim Duggan. He back like it's been quite a few years ago, like 8 years ago. He introduced me to Jim Duggan. Nice guy, one of the coolest dudes you'll ever meet. I want everybody to give, since Jim Duggan's going through it, you know, as a show of respect, I want everybody to go pick you up a 2x4 and hold it up, and with me I want you to say, "Hi-oh!"
Oh! I didn't want to get out of the way, bro.
That is the spirit of Jim Duggan.
And also,
Yeah, we know he used to
don't
play,
forget
he
to
did
pick
used to
up
play
American
football.
flag as well, because he loved this country. He loved this country. So I also urge you guys to pick up an American flag anywhere for Jim Duggan. For
I hate
Larry
how
Hansen
Curtis
and-
Axel is booked in
and
WWE
also,
too.
and if you got European fans out there, if you're from the UK, I urge you guys to pick up the Union Jack for the Dynamite Kid. That's all I want to say, bro. So
Okay.
let's go on to the next.
Now the next segment is a pay-per-view. We have one. It's WWF In Your House 4. We had the first match was Hunter Hearst Helmsley versus Fatu, aka Rikishi.
What you call me, Darvin?
Shut up, Danny. Danny, did you watch? Danny, did you watch this? Danny, did you watch this match?
Yes. Yes, it was hilarious. Like a slimmer down of Rikishi was actually giving it to Hunter Hearst Helmsley. And I love how they made him seem like the smelly fat guy.
I loved In Your House
You
too.
got the counter right. In your house. In your house. You're not in my house. Get away.
And Triple H did win this match. I mean, this was Fatu and Triple H. This was when they were both young. So, you know, we know what they were both going to grow
Yeah.
into legends later.
Yeah. I mean, it was a pretty good match between those two back then. It wasn't the best match, but it was a pretty good match between those two guys.
Better than the paper we got recently, but anyway.
He does have a point. He does have a point.
I mean, we all know that Fatu got his payback on Triple H down the road when he put his ass in his Triple H's face. But that's not the point. That's not. I'm too far ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. That was like years and years.
That was years later, and a bunch of Twinkies and a lot of burritos and a lot of sweaty drawers. God damn.
And yeah, a lot of hot dogs and hamburgers as well too, bro.
It probably stuck.
Did Rikishi have surgery to move his stomach to his ass? No, that's just the standard. That's the standard Samoan build. I don't know what genetics hit The Rock and hit Roman Reigns, but they're different parts of that family, so I don't know.
What about the Usos? Don't forget about the Usos and yes,
different.
the so-called face breaker, but I'm not going there with her.
Yeah, we're not talking about that. It's just different genetics, man. You know. But hey, Hunter Hearst Helmsley won this match as expected.
Yeah, they had him on a nice little winning streak.
Yeah.
It was a pretty, like I said, that match between Fatu and Hunter Hearst Helmsley was a pretty solid match.
Yeah. Okay. So match number
It was a lot better than that squash match with Shane Douglas with the other guy, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll be talking about Shane Douglas in a minute. Dean Douglas. The next match was Marty Jannetty and Gold Dust.
Okay, allow me.
Go ahead.
Okay, we know about Marty Jannetty being a jobber at the time because he's just a jobber, pretty much. They've treated him like a jobber ever since him and Shawn Michaels separated as a tag team known as the Rockers. And you mentioned Gold Dust. or as many people know who he is,
Seven.
the son
Seven.
of
We know
the
him as
American
Seven.
Dream.
We know him as Seven.
Oh my God.
He also known as Seven. I forgot what other nickname he came up with.
Black Rain.
Rain.
He also was in TNA or something else. But
Black Rain. He was Black Rain at
Black
TNA.
Rain,
AK Silver Dust.
Black Rain, Seven, Gold Dust. But we all know he is Dustin Rhodes,
Yeah.
the
Dark
brother
Rain.
of Cody,
Yeah.
the big brother of Cody.
And Jamie said that Marty Jannetty was his favorite rocker. It's hard not to like Marty Jannetty.
Don't get me wrong, I agree with Jamie, because Marty Jannetty was a great wrestler. I mean, don't get me wrong, he was pretty solid, but the only problem is he was overshadowed, and I do mean this literally, he was way overshadowed by Shawn Michaels.
But
That's straight up. I'm just being real.
do you know when the last time I saw Marty Jannetty in WWF was?
When?
2006. Do you know what he did?
Yeah. He was teaming up with Shawn Michaels back then. Then he lost.
Not in 2006. We're talking 06, not 96.
Oh, okay.
You know what he did?
What?
Kurt Angle, take it away. The angle slam. The ankle lock. Marty Jannetty still can't walk.
Wow. I mean,
Kurt Angle.
And you know what? On a personal level, Marty Jannetty is from my home state of Georgia as well.
Yeah, I know, Jamie.
Yes, he was born in Georgia.
Yeah,
In fact, both of these guys that you mentioned, now that I think about it, both Marty Jannetty and Goldust, both born in Georgia, technically. You know, Goldust gonna say he's from Texas or Hollywood, but we know he was born in Georgia because at the time Dusty Rhodes was in Georgia Championship Wrestling. By the time he was born, we know that Cody was born in Georgia as well.
Yeah, Jamie, I know, and I don't have nothing against Marty Jannetty. I really feel like that him and Shawn Michaels were like the precursor to the Young Bucks.
Yes.
They really, the Rockers, the Midnight Rockers were like the Young Bucks precursor.
Yes. They were. In fact, the Rockers, you know what, the Midnight Rockers were the tag team known for that devil super kick back then.
Yeah, I know.
And before then, and of course, the Midnight Rockers patterned their style after the Rock and Roll Express, which was also known for that double drop kick.
Half brothers. Cody and Dustin are half brothers.
Yeah. But they're brothers nonetheless.
Yeah.
So,
but
like I said.
But Gold Dust.
But Goldust
won
beat
this match.
Marty Jannetty, did he?
Yes, he did.
Of course he did. And the thing about it is, I feel bad for Marty Jannetty because Marty Jannetty was he was a great wrestler, but he was underutilized. That's what the problem is back then, because a guy like Marty Jannetty, a former Intercontinental Champion, former Tag Team Champion, he could have been World Champion if he was used right, if he was booked correctly. Am I wrong for saying that?
No, you're not.
Donovan?
You're not wrong. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I hear you, bro. Marty Jannetty could have been he could have been a world champion if booked correctly. That's all I'm saying.
He should have been a world champion.
I'm pretty sure some people agree with what I said. I'm pretty sure some people agree with what you just said. What we both just said, really. We could have been a world champion. And actually, and you know what? Now that I think about it, Goldust could have been a world champion. Or Dustin Rhodes. or 7 or whatever name they want to come up with. But go ahead. Both those men could have been world champions.
Well, and Jamie's agreeing. But this next match is going to be a lot more fun. We saw Yokozuna versus Mabel, and it went to a double countout. I'm just going to tell y'all that. A couple of big guys hugging each other for a while for a double countout. I'm not even going to give this match any credit. This should not have been a pay-per-view match. This should have been a Jenny Craig ad.
This should have been a Raw's match.
Yeah, this should have been like a...
I want to get this out of the way. Rest in peace to both these big men. I mean, Yokozuna, part of the same family with, as aforementioned, Rikishi. And
yes, the New Rockers with Al Snow was embarrassing, Jamie.
Huh?
Jamie said the New Rockers with Al Snow was embarrassing, and I agreed. That was horrible, and I didn't really want to be reminded of that, Jamie.
I agree with Jamie, because don't get me wrong about Al Snow. Al Snow is a great mid-card wrestler. Great. But him teaming up with Marty Jannetty was just terrible.
Someone's in trouble.
As far as this match between these
That's an ambulance, man. They come around here all the time.
Yes, it was terrible. It was terrible.
Double count out, man. They wasted our time on a pay-per-view.
Double count out. I mean, you got two guys. Yokozuna, 550 pounds, maybe 600 pounds. King Mabel, same thing. 550, maybe 600 pounds.
They were both 500 pounds. They were both 450 to 500 pounds.
Each. We're talking about each, right?
Yeah, they made the Richter scale. They don't weigh in on a scale. They had to step on the Richter scale to get those numbers.
And I mean, just between those two guys alone, that's almost close to 1,000 pounds, right?
Yes, I remember the new Blackjacks, Bradshaw, Bradshaw and Barry Windham.
The new Blackjack, Barry Windham, and JBL.
Yeah.
Versus.
No. That's what Jamie was saying. The next match was an Intercontinental title match with, as we spoke about the Rockers, we actually have one here. The Intercontinental Champion, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Backstage politic. What? What, Denny?
Did we skip the tag team match?
No. Hadn't happened yet.
You're not there yet. We were just getting to the... No.
Before you went to Intercontinental title, the tag team match was before that, because you had Razor Ramon and the Kid going against the Guns.
Yeah, but they have the Intercontinental title match before that on this list, because it was actually edited before this, but it was actually live. It was the sub-main event going into the main event.
Right. But
we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it, Danny, because it's on the card.
Okay. I just want to make sure you know that.
Yeah. So this was Dean Douglas versus challenging for the Intercontinental title against the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. I'll let Danny actually talk about the match itself. I'll be right back.
Go ahead, Danny. I'm listening, bro.
Alright, so we kick it off with Shawn Michaels being forced to drop the title because of an injury. That kind of sucks. I mean, you have to drop the title to basically someone who was handed the belt, but on a funnier note, who also had to defend that title at the same time. So, Dean Douglas versus Razor Ramon wasn't an actually bad match. But it wasn't too long. It wasn't. What did you think of it, Tori? Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Shawn Michaels had to, Shawn Michaels was a great wrestler back then. I mean, yeah, he had to forfeit the title because of injury. Yes, Shane Douglas. You just mentioned that Shane Douglas, Dean Douglas, was the champion against, and then he lost to Razor Ramon. My thoughts is Shane Douglas was pretty much on his way out anyway, because he was going back to ECW, so he had to lose the championship to Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, not the other Razor Ramon, but the Scott Hall version of Razor Ramon, because at the time, Danny, as you know, Shane Douglas, Dean Douglas, were going back to ECW. So yeah, you were right. Am I wrong for saying that, bro? Because at the time, Shane Douglas was pretty much on his way out of WWE or WWF.
Yes. And not everyone actually knew that, so.
Because Shane Douglas was like, I'm going back to ECW.
Yeah. And here's a fun fact. I had to look it up. Dean Douglas is the shortest reign of
Michael
the
Hickenbottom,
Intercontinental
aka
Championship
Lazy
ever.
Eye.
Of course. Of course. He only had the champion, for basically a cup of coffee.
Yeah, literally.
Or a glass of water, or half a gallon of water, whatever.
Did you tell him how he won the belt from Shawn Michaels?
How did he win?
The fact that it was handed to him?
He won by forfeit.
Because Shawn Michaels injured.
How did that happen, Danny?
I don't remember that. That's what I was trying to. It didn't show how that happened. Or is it the one that had that 6-man tag and they were outside the ring and Dean Douglas was slapping him around?
Yeah, Shawn Michaels won the title by forfeit.
Oh. You mean Dean Douglas?
Yeah.
Or Shane Douglas?
Dean Douglas won by... He's the Intercontinental Champion. Then you know what happened since he won the belt?
What?
Out comes a new contender, Razor Ramon.
Scott Hall.
Razor the bad guy. Yo, Razor Ramon.
Hey, yo.
And guess what? I'll let Danny talk about this match, but I'm going to let Danny talk about the match before I reveal the result.
Okay. Go ahead, Danny.
I mean, I was already done talking about the match. Let's get the results.
Razor Ramon won the match, hey yo, and becomes the new bad guy Intercontinental Champion. Throws a toothpick in your eye.
Four-time Intercontinental Champion.
That's true. That's true. That is so true. I mean, Scott Hall, another guy that could have been a world champion, in my opinion, as well.
Yeah, if he would have laid off the alcohol, drugs and alcohol.
That's true. Yeah.
I am Scott Hall, and it is my last call for alcohol, baby. All right.
It's amazing how all those guys I just mentioned could have been great champions, could have been world champions.
Scott Hall, so could Dean Douglas. Scott Hall won the Intercontinental title. Then here's the fun part. Him and the 1-2-3, Razor Ramon and 1-2-3 Kid fought the Smoking Guns for the tag team titles. Hey, yo.
And I gotta admit, that was a great match between the Smoking Gun and Scott Hall and the previous Pac.
1-2-3 Kid, the Lightning Kid.
1-2-3 Kid, Sean Waltman.
Yeah.
Man, that match is so hilarious.
Go ahead, Danny. Explain.
So funny.
Explain to us, cause.
You had Razor Ramon, the muscles behind Ramon and 1-2-3 Kid. going against the Smoking Guns, and they had them. You had the Razor's Edge, the Cutting Edge, or I don't know what you called it.
It was called the Razor's Edge Powerbomb.
Right. He drops, which gun did he have? I think it was Mark's gun. On the mat. And then you had 1, 2, 3, 10, like, I got, no. It was, Billy gun. He's like, I got him. He tags him, gives him the hot tag, and he gets ready to pin him. 1, 2, and then they do a reversal, and you get the nice little 3 count easily. I'm like, what the heck? And then you see the kid come out of 1, 2, 3 Kid, acting like a spoiled little brat, trying to beat up the Smoking Guns and take the titles and walk away, but being the bad guy and the good guy at the same time, how's that work? He gives the belts back to the Smoking Guns.
But he gets to walk out with the Intercontinental title, so it's all good.
Yeah.
For him.
And Sean Waltman, man, that guy, he was great back then, but man, bad booking with this kid.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I haven't seen that name in a while, and I didn't want to see it again.
What?
China?
Radford.
Oh, my God.
Oh. That was another horrible one.
Yes.
Don't worry, though. WWF, the next after this In Your House for that year is Survivor Series and also an In Your House 5.
Thank you. Radford. Who did he face? I can't stand that guy, by the way.
Oh, he's not on the pay-per-view. We're going to do the main event. Yes, actually, yes, Jamie. I couldn't stand Radford. I didn't like it at all. I hated the gimmick. The next match was for the World Wrestling Federation title. We had, and you're gonna actually enjoy this. We're gonna have the British Bulldog Davey Boy Smith versus the champion Diesel.
Yeah.
Tori.
We talked about Davey Boy, right?
We talked about Davey Boy.
We just talked about Davey Boy Smith.
But Tori, take it away. I'm gonna let you start this off.
Well, in honor of both the Dynamite Kid and Davey Boy Smith, rest in peace to both of these guys. Davey Boy Smith, of course, he lost against Diesel. That's obvious because let me say this: Davey Boy Smith was a powerful man.
Damn, Jamie, that's horrible.
Known for that running power slam, that same move as Dr. Del Steve Williams.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Back then, you had the competition between those two legendary power slam guys. Who had the best power slam, Davey Boy Smith or Dr. Del Williams? But this match between these two guys was pretty great. I mean, it was a great match between Diesel and the Bulldog.
Yeah, for real. It was a damn good match.
It was a damn good match between these two guys. But in the end, Diesel prevailed against the Bulldog. But all in all, I'm gonna have to say a great match. I mean, at least Davey Boy Smith gave it a shot, but he lost.
Yeah,
he could have.
He didn't. Whoa, but here's the funny part. In the record book, it says he won
By disqualification.
By disqualification, yes. He won because of his family member jumping in and interfering. Now, I think he would have lost the 1, 2, 3 by Diesel because I think Diesel had more power and more endurance than Davey Boy Smith.
I disagree.
Why
I'm
is
going to tell
that?
you why I disagree, because if it was a straight one-on-one match without all the interference, Davey Boy could have won.
But let me stop you there. When you look at the beginning of the match, when you had face to face, hand by hand, Diesel overpowered him.
That's true.
And you see it when you put him in the sharpshooter, when you put him in the Boston Crab, you actually see Diesel flipping this man and kicking out of every single submission he had.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Davey Boy Smith back then, very powerful. Very powerful. But then you got Kevin Nash, a very powerful man on his side.
Oh yeah, and I'm not going to disagree with that, but the showing that the way they had it, they had Kevin Nash being a very powerful champion, a very big man, and they were going to stick with that.
And during that time, Kevin Nash was the longest reigning champion in WWE history during that time.
Right.
Right or wrong?
Nash Lord quad tear. Jamie said he's Nash Lord quad tear. He didn't have he didn't have the quads that Davey Boy Smith has.
Man, he looked like he tore him when he jumped off the ring. He looked like his leg almost wanted to give out halfway through that match.
Kevin Nash had quad problems. He did a lot of torque on his quads.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, as I said about the British Bulldog, without Dynamite Kid Davey Boy Smith, he was, like I said, a very underrated but great wrestler. And he should have been champion, man. That's all I'm saying. He should have been champion.
He should have been
world champion. I mean,
he should have had some kind of world championship, and they're very underrated, underused, and underappreciated.
That's true. I mean, Davey Boy Smith.
Go ahead.
He was. Let me say this: Davey Boy Smith was underutilized, underused, and underrated. They made him. I mean, but yet he's a guy that won the European Championship. He's a former Intercontinental Championship, multiple-time Tag Team Championship. Not just with the Dynamite Kid, but with Owen Hart as well. And he also formed a tag team with Lex Luger, but I'm not going there. I remember that tag team.
Right. But you know what was good for, what was good and bad for him at the same time?
What?
Lord quad tear.
And Bret.
Yeah.
Owen and Bret, not only was good for him.
Great match against Bret the Hitman Hart for the IC title at SummerSlam.
Right. But I mean, they were good for his career and bad at the same time. It seemed like they buried him a lot.
Yeah. I mean, the guy was, and this is what gets me. And Donovan, you can agree, or I don't know if you're going to agree with this, Donovan, but back then, Davey Boy was basically championship ready. He was championship ready.
He was. I'm surprised they never pulled the trigger.
I mean, Davey Boy Smith was a guy that could have been a world champion if booked correctly. Right. And to be honest, I'm afraid for another British guy on Raw, or another guy from that area from Raw. And we all know who I'm talking about. There's two of them in there. So I'm afraid they're going to do him the same way they did the British Bulldog. But I digress. Davey Boy Smith was a great wrestler, folks.
If we're considering Finn Balor, we're talking about him. He's already had a heavyweight title. So he's got one more than the actual Bulldog.
Well, I'm talking about the other guy. I'm talking about the Big Scott.
Oh, Scott. Well, we all know that he's going to get that title sometime soon. I mean, they're going to push for him.
Yep. But the thing about it is, Donovan, if they book this man correctly, it's all about how they book this man, how they utilize this man.
Correct.
That's my only fear. That's my only thing, because the way they did Bulldog back then, Bulldog could have been a Grand Slam champion if he would have won that title, that WWE title.
Yeah, but for some reason they didn't think. I mean, even though British Bulldog had the skills and had the look that Vince is like, oh yeah, I can masturbate to you, yeah. You know, apparently if you're not Samoan, he doesn't, and muscular and talented, he doesn't want you.
But the British Bulldog, the thing about it, Donovan, Davey Boy Smith had the muscle. Come on now, the guy was muscular. The guy had muscle on top of muscle back then.
And who are they doing that to nowadays? Oh yeah, Bobby Lashley.
I mean, now you got me talking about Bobby Lashley, but British Bulldog, and by the way, Bobby Lashley Power Slam was emulated by the British Bulldog or Dr. Del Steve Williams, whatever one you want to put it. Anyway.
Exactly.
And
But Bobby Lashley also does a spear.
That's right. Which guys like Rhino perfected before he did.
Pierce
Guys like
Carl
Rhino,
Allett. Pierce Carl Allett signed with Ring of Honor. I haven't heard that.
But
I think so though.
But the thing about it is, Vince McMahon didn't know what to do with the Bulldog. And the British Bulldog was one of the most powerful guys they had at the time.
Yeah, but British Bulldog was a heel at the time. He wasn't as over. He wasn't as over as Kevin Nash was.
No, he wasn't. And that was the problem. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just want to tell you they start that down with the Franklin already.
So Danny,
Yeah.
this was in your house. Now we're gonna go back and let's compare Raw and Nitro. There were no dark
I'm
matches.
that guy. That was my mom. She was just.
Yeah, we're getting to the final leg of the show. We're gonna compare Raw and Nitro. That was in your house, but we're not counting in your house. We will compare this in your house card to next week's WCW card. I will go over the results again for this card next week, just to remind you when we do the review. If Danny's not here, that'll suck because I love having Danny. Danny, I love having you on here. You're great, man. You and Tori can really... It's like you and Tori have some good debates because you just watch this shit.
And it's
I watch it sometime too, bro. So
you watched it
I
live.
do watch it though. I was like this Nitro and Raw. I was at Nitro, so I wasn't able to watch Raw during that time.
I mean, I want to watch this than what we have now.
Show.
Yeah, Danny.
But now I can't compare the two.
Danny, Michael Jackson. I think you'd rather sit next to Michael Jackson and watch a 6-year-old birthday party clip than watch this or watch Raw now.
Yes, and with the open Diet Coke can, I know, right?
Yes.
But if it was my pick, can I start, Danny, if you don't mind?
Yeah, go. I don't mind.
My pick between Nitro and Raw back then, I might have to go with Nitro because of that Benoit Guerrero match.
And I mean, you know, Nitro had like 3 matches, and you know, a DQ start. Then Benoit and Guerrero. Then we had that I don't even know what that was in the third quarter. And then we had the Arn Anderson, Brian Pillman, Sting, and Flair match. I don't know what that was, but we got a great 8 minute and 30-second match between Benoit and Guerrero. That's really the only saving grace. Then we go to Raw, and it's like, the hell are you people on? It was a terrible card.
That's what I'm saying.
And this was a go-home show. This was a go-home show.
I mean, I'm gonna have to give the edge to Nitro over Raw.
And here's the thing,
Because
that Raw was a go-home show.
Raw and Guerrero.
Yeah, but that Raw was also a friggin' go-home show.
That's what it was. I guarantee that's what it was.
No, it
What
was.
do you think, Danny?
Because we got In Your House.
Right. I mean, it wasn't. They weren't really trying to make it spectacular because they had the pay-per-view that weekend. But I mean, for entertainment purposes, if you just want to sit there, smoke a joint, get high, I would say Raw. If you actually want to sit there, understand, and have a nice technical one, you would watch the freaking Chris Noir and then the Guerrero.
And
but, I mean, the only reason.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The only thing I say Raw was entertaining because you got to see this preppy guy slap around his clown. And then you had to have some king in a shark cage who was bleeding for no reason.
I mean, Raw, this was a go-home Raw. It's just like, see, this Raw was like Raw, a go-home Raw now. Terrible. Benoit Guerrero ending of that one WrestleMania where Benoit won a championship still gives me chills. That was great. Got any weed, Jamie asked Danny?
No, unfortunately I'm dry.
He's drier than Mae Young after giving birth to a hand. Wow!
Wow! And she was super wet after that.
No,
I got no comments on that.
We'll eventually get into that with Mark Henry and Mae Young, but that's gonna be a while. I think before the end of the year, I think what I'll do before the end of the year is that me and Tori are going to do a big retro just to catch up, because this thing is happening in October of '95, so I want to catch it up to the months that we're in the catch it up to where we're at on the actual days now, because we're 13 years behind. So I think we could do a few episodes of back and forth and a couple of pay-per-views, because we're actually getting into the next WWF pay-per-view, Survivor Series, and I would really like to review Survivor Series and catch it up, because WCW has a pay-per-view coming up on next week's show. We're going to be doing WCW's Halloween Havoc.
Halloween Havoc 95.
Yeah, and I want to get caught up to where the month is the same as it is now.
Yeah.
Drier than Rush's mouth after screaming Lashley, Lashley, Lashley. All right, so that's been our review. I'm gonna say that Raw was just, I don't even know, like, I think we could watch an episode of WVPW's Underground with like nobody, like all women's matches that are just like shoddy finishes, and it would still be more entertaining. At least you get some wrestling. WCW, on the other hand, we had Ming pretty much just squash the shit out of Jim Duggan. And that was pretty damn amazing for back then, because it's Jim fucking Duggan. And we had a lot of we did have basically like Brian Pillman, Sting, Ric Flair, and Arn Anderson in the ring. So at least we had some good wrestling.
Yeah.
It wasn't great wrestling, but it was good wrestling. I mean, the main event.
But the match of the night, as I said before, was Benoit and Guerrero. That was pretty much.
The Crippler versus, as King used to say, Latino Heat! Okay, so Danny, we're going to jump into them there final thoughts. What's your final thoughts?
Final thoughts is, I ran out of tequila like half an hour ago. If you need to go to the store and get me more.
Get some of the Patron Silver. I'm down.
Okay.
Tori.
My final thoughts is, my heart, again, my I'm gonna say this one more time, and then I'm gonna get to my final thoughts.
Weed.
Again, ladies and gentlemen,
Weed the people. I'm down with
my
that.
heart goes out to
Send Matt Riddle that
families of
T-shirt.
the Dynamite Kid, and also to Larry the Ass Henning. So Curtis, also my heart goes out to you on the passing of your grandfather. And my final thoughts it's simple. Don't forget to drink your Mountain Dew or your Jack Daniel the next time you see a terrible match on Monday Night Raw.
Well, God, that's every match. I mean, hey, how you doing, guys?
Stay lit.
Those are my final thoughts.
My final thoughts are, and I'm gonna steal that, Jamie. Jamie's final thought. Jamie says, Jamie, go ahead before I do mine. Go ahead. What's your question? Because I got a good send off. Because I know Tori wants to get his line in. So go ahead, give your question. And yeah, Jamie, thank you for being part of the show, man. We went kind of long tonight, but man, it was fun.
Yeah, it was.
Danny, you're great. You stuck in here, man.
I know, I didn't fall asleep for the one bit.
It's not Raw. Well, technically it is Raw, just good Raw.
Yes.
And you know what's bad? This isn't even the really good Raws. This is like fucking like the Dark Ages, as they call them.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on Jamie's question before we quit because Facebook is a little behind.
Okay, well, I was going to say to Jamie that I lost my grandmother and my mother-in-law to the same cancer, and they were the best, awesome ladies I ever knew in my life.
I want to say this to you, Jamie. My thoughts and prayers with you and your family, bro. As I'm pretty sure that anytime you need us, man, anytime you need all three of us, we're here for you, brother.
Hey,
We're here for you.
yeah, and that's always appreciated. Jamie's question is, when WCW closed, Eric Bischoff was going to go take part in a Canadian company in Canada with Don Callis and Mauro Ranallo. What was it, Tori?
I forgot the name of that company. I totally forgot. But I remember what Jamie talking about. I forgot the name of that company off the top of my head, but Jamie, I'm gonna do you a favor, man. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna get back with you on that, bro. I totally forgot. But I know exactly what you're talking about.
Send it to him in a private message if you can, Tori. If not, send it to me and I'll send it to him.
I will do that.
Okay.
I got you, Jamie.
Yeah, you will get an answer, just not live. But, my final thoughts are keep it tight, stay golden. I don't care if the crazy clown corner guy is here or not. Yeah, that's what I thought, clown boy. Anyways, get your psycho clown from outer space ass on somewhere. I still remember that insult. A reject, like a backup stunt double reject actor from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. That was funny. But anyways, just joking aside, because I'm not just gonna bash. Stay golden, like I do. We're not gonna say keep it tight, because that sounds like some pedophile reference there, and we're not doing that. Always support Booty's Worth and Barry the Business Bear. They're both great. They're the driving force behind the scenes for New Day and Cody Rhodes. Tune in. Keep tuning in. We appreciate it. And as always, Tori.
Ta-ta for now.
Because we will weed the people at Resolution. We'll SC you later.